What's going on YouTube, heavyweight boxer TJ.Braddock here, and today it's finally time we do a character deep dive of Punch-Out's infamous cheater Aran Ryan. This video is by Fob. I know he wasn't once a cheater in the old Super Punch-Out games, but let's see if we can learn any more about him. A link to Fob's video will be down in the description below. And if you guys want to, slug that subscribe button, check that like button, and leave a comment down below to get me boosted in for a headline fight in the algorithm. Ring the bell, let's box.
Boxing at its core is a sport of elegance, strategy, and physical prowess. For centuries, it has captivated audiences with its blend of athleticism and artistry. In the ring, two fighters dance a delicate ballet, where every jab, hook, and uppercut is a testament to their skill and discipline. The rules of boxing, which have been meticulously crafted over time, ensure fairness and safety, preserving the integrity of the sport. Fighters are celebrated not just for their strength, but for their technique, sportsmanship, and respect for their opponents. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. In fact, let's dial things back to the humble beginnings of a young, 23-year-old aspiring boxer known as Aran Ryan. Aran Ryan made his WVBA debut in Super Punch-Out for the Super Nintendo.
World Circuit, ranked number 3, from Ireland. He's 23, at 160 pounds, 18 wins, 10 losses. Your wimpy little punches won't even faze me.
In 1994.
There
we see him as the first opponent in the World Circuit, and when you first take him on here, things are relatively normal actually. For the most part, the Aran Ryan we see here has a relatively orthodox fighting style. He's pretty resistant to your normal punches, which is his main shtick, but your KO punches will leave him seeing stars. Aside from that, the only real gimmick we see here is when his coach tells him to grab you. Compared to some of the other questionable techniques we see from the rest of the Super Punch-Out cast, such as Hoi Kualo bringing a wooden staff into the fight and beating you over the head with it, or...
And let's not excuse the fact that this guy is hella old. I mean, I know that he's supposed to be a grandmaster, but come on, man. We're doing the rules of boxing. So yeah, sorry, guy. You're too old.
Or Dragon Chan straight up attempting to use kung fu kicks on you.
I said this once before, and I'll say it again. Do kickboxing, damn it. Oh boy.
Aran Ryan looks fairly tame. He does seem to be pretty easily angered, with him always having an aggressive expression painted on his face in the ring, but there are far worse offenders in this game if anger is the crime.
Well, that's his ring face.
That begs the question, what gives? Among Punch-Out fans, Aran Ryan has something of a reputation, and this man right here, this kinda normal boxer, does not quite live up to said reputation. So what exactly is the deal here? What did this guy do to garner such infamy within the community? Well, between Super Punch-Out and Punch-Out Wii, something happened to Aran Ryan. Something snapped. Aran Ryan became, well...
Let's go! Let's go!
Just a little bit insane. Much like in his prior appearance, Aran Ryan is the first opponent that he faced in the World Circuit, but that's about where the similarities end. If you're all familiar with Punch-Out Wii, you'll know that this Aran Ryan is most known for his filthy cheating ways, and that's something that's immediately apparent right from his very introduction. After showing off his mischievous nature by vandalizing a poster of Little Mac and tickling this poor man trying to do a bench press in peace...
Hang on, I want to back up a bit. He's like what? Bench pressing 105 on each? Or is that 120? Let's see, 245 plates, that's 90. That's 110 on each plate. On each side, so that's 210. God dang. And look at it. The guy's just tickling him with a feather. Although, I will say, well then again, I was going to say, why doesn't he have a spotter? But then again, Aran Ryan was unfortunately the spotter for this guy.
we can notice something slightly amiss. Do you see that? No, your eyes do not deceive you. This guy has horseshoes in his gloves. I'm pretty sure that those could kill someone. I would not want to get anywhere near this man, but when you inevitably begin your fight, you'll see that Aran Ryan's fighting style is just about as wild as his personality. He is all over the place, and I mean that both literally and figuratively. Look at how much this guy moves around the ring. With how slippery he is, it really makes you wonder, how on earth do you actually hit him? I mean, sure, you are able to dodge the attacks he throws your way and counter-attack, but that'll only earn you a single hit in most cases.
You know, if it wasn't for his cheating, he'd probably be an outboxer.
And I hate to say it, but you actually have to take Doc Lewis's advice.
There are many ways to eat a chocolate, but there's only one way to eat a chocolate bar.
No, not that advice.
Join the Nintendo fun. I mean, Club Nintendo today, Mac.
Or that advice.
Be first, Mac. I need you to be first. Beat Aran Ryan to the punch.
That's right. You have to quite literally beat Aran Ryan to the punch. Right before he comes into attack, you need to throw out your own jab, and by doing so, you interrupt him and stop him from getting to you. This leaves him stunned, allowing you to finally get some decent damage in. Now, that's cool and all, but as the fight goes on, Aran Ryan only continues to grow more and more unhinged. Not only does he constantly move around the ring, not only does he have horseshoes in his gloves, that is only scratching the surface. You see, to put it nicely, Aran Ryan likes to get creative with his attacks. More bluntly speaking, the guy straight up headbutts you. Even when you eventually do manage to knock him down, he'll attempt to get one last hit on you as a last-ditch effort, albeit unsuccessfully. The best part about all of this is that the ref does not care one bit. This is just a normal Wednesday afternoon for him. Aran Ryan's cheating ways have made him an infamous boxer not only in the Punch-Out fanbase, but in the WVBA in-universe as well. As it turns out, the crowd hates this guy and will boo him constantly, even going so far as to throw food at him in between rounds. There are very few instances where the audience genuinely despises a character like this. I mean, they do love to hate Super Macho Man, but he sort of leans into the heel role.
Why don't you love me?
With Aran Ryan, they don't like the guy purely because of the way he is. Like, this dude is just a terrible human being. Alongside his rule-breaking antics, a big part of Aran Ryan's personality is his Irish heritage, and this is played up a lot during his fights. The look of the Irish is one of the biggest stereotypes portrayed in his character. Along with his horseshoes, which are a symbol of luck in Irish culture, without fail, if Aran Ryan gets back up from being knocked down, he'll always do it on the lucky number 7. And
that's an interesting little fact. Also, I want to point out, I know he keeps referencing the horseshoes and the gloves, and keep in mind, this guy is constantly, like, ramping himself up by pounding his gloves into his head. No wonder why he likes throwing headbutts. His skull is probably so thick.
If you take a look at your stamina counter, how many hearts do you have? 7. His shorts even have a 4-leaf clover on them. I mean, if that's not commitment to the bit, I don't know what is. And the very first time you see the man open his mouth, do you know what sentence he utters?
You don't look Irish!
Man, this guy is full of absolutely iconic lines. He drops so many bangers in this game, such as...
Keep hitting me. I love it.
Or...
Me sister hits harder than you, boy!
There's also...
6, 7, rise up with blade!
And my personal favourite is that after knocking you down, he taunts you and references the fact that he has horseshoes in his gloves by saying...
1, 2... You probably got cheeseburgers in those gloves, have you, Mac?
Such a wise, respectable gentleman. Eventually, though, you'll figure out...
What's that analogy? You got cheeseburgers in your gloves? Does that mean he has, like, extra padding? Maybe that's why? I don't know.
Out all of Aran Ryan's tricks and see that, behind all the smoke and mirrors, he's actually a relatively simple opponent to defeat. But the reality is, that first fight was only the beginning. As with the rest of the characters in this game, Aran Ryan comes back with a vengeance in title defense, but has he realized the error in his ways and used his loss as a newfound source of motivation to become a fair, honorable, rule-abiding boxer? Well, Of course not. This is Aran
Nope.
Ryan we're talking about. If anything, we see that he's gotten even more insane since the last time. However, what's odd is that the fight doesn't start off too dissimilarly from the last one. As a matter of fact, things seem pretty ordinary, at least by Aran Ryan's standards anyway. He's still very slippery, constantly moves around the ring, elbows and headbutts you, but for Aran Ryan, that's normal, right? But partway through the fight, everything changes. You see, in his intro package, we see Aran Ryan throwing away his old gloves after they ripped from having horseshoes inside of them. But then, it looks like he has some kind of idea after he notices that, next to his gloves, there's a piece of rope. So, what exactly is he planning to do, you might ask?
Here's one of my favorites, man.
Yeah. That's gotta hurt.
So, let me get this straight. Not only does Aran Ryan elbow you, not only does he headbutt you, not only does he have horseshoes in his gloves, but now he also brings a weapon into the fight? Excuse me? How did the WVBA allow this man to get away with this? Wait, never mind, this is the same WVBA that allowed Little Mac to fight a literal monkey. I should not be surprised by this. The worst part is that he continues to do this throughout the fight, and it only gets worse as you get further.
And I also want to point out, these are the same gloves that had horseshoes in them. So what's to say that he didn't stuff them again with some more horseshoes, or God forbid, something even heavier? Because looking at the size of that glove, that's definitely the same size as the ones he stole from Little Mac. So yeah. Lord knows what could be in that one glove. He swings it pretty fast, too.
I feel like this is a good point to sit back and consider everything we have here and see exactly how many rules Aran Ryan breaks. I mean, there's his illegal gloves, illegal attacks, illegal hairstyle, his unsportsmanlike behavior. Heck, even when he's not fighting Little Mac in the ring, he attacks the referee in between rounds, throwing him aside, which is yet another rule break to add to the list. When you sum all of that up, this guy has a grand total of a massive 25.5 rule infractions. That is more than any character in the entire franchise. When you consider how outlandish some of the opponents you have to fight in this series are, I mean, we're talking bringing a squirrel into the fight and being an actual genie outlandish. That is seriously impressive. That aside, this flail attack is a hilarious gimmick because of how chaotic it makes this fight. The more times Aran Ryan uses it, the more complex the pattern becomes and it gets harder and harder to dodge. If you manage to avoid all of his swings successfully though, the payoff is pretty huge. Alongside stunning him and allowing you to get some big damage in, doing this also grants you with a star which you can use to great effect. Do you remember how in Contender mode, Aran attempts to get one last punch in before he goes down? Well, now when he falls to the mat, he doesn't just simply try to hit you with a punch. Instead, he swings his flail at you, and if you don't dodge it properly, you can actually get hit by it this time. Of course, you can't get knocked down by it, as otherwise that would kind of break the game, but it's just another thing that adds to the sheer chaos of this fight. But, as Doc Lewis once ever so wisely said, the way you have to win this one is by beating Aran Ryan to the punch, and as it turns out, that also applies to his last-ditch attack. If you perfectly time a star uppercut just when he's about to hit you, you'll knock him out cold instantly. From start to finish, Aran Ryan's fight is a wild ride, and for that it deserves a lot of credit. Sure, rule breaks are pretty common in the WVBA, but nobody does it quite like this guy. He was arguably one of the most forgettable characters in Super Punch-Out, but he had a complete transformation into the guy we all love to hate in Punch-Out Wii. His frankly insane personality and fighting style perfectly embody what makes the Punch-Out franchise so great. Wait, how does he have more rule infractions than a literal monkey?
That's still a question being asked today. Welp, that was an entire video about Aran Ryan from FOB. So yeah, Aran Ryan's the biggest cheater, but I have to admit, it does make for a good and entertaining fight. But yeah, by standard boxing rules, he'd be out. But if you guys like this video, don't forget to slam that subscribe button, share that like button, and leave a comment down below. and make sure it's a fair fight down in the comments now, shall we? Thanks again for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all next time.